All right, greetings everybody. It is time for testing. We are going to be jumping right in this video, testing out Resnick. I don't think it'll take too terribly long to do this, but also I might have chosen a bad map this time. All right, so while we are just buffing our units, yeah, that's what we're doing. We're totally just giving them time to buff, get close together. Yeah, that's everything. So let's just get moving. Check out some things. Also, can't really get super close to see that book, which is unfortunate. You can see a little bit of the detail in the video, but I'll do a closer up in later. All right, we'll pass for right now. We'll get our other characters moving. Throw down some abilities. And just keep everybody generally kind of going. Because none of this is super important yet, but let's just keep going a little bit further. Almost there. And you know what? Let's heal. Why not? All right, so now that we've got our units relatively close, we haven't cast any buffs on this character. Of course, when it comes to Resnick, she does have some hate down and whatnot, so she isn't going to be a super high priority target, and of course she'll always have her buffs. But let's see what it's like attacking her with some of the strongest units in the game with no buffs applied. So taking a look here, Mont, for example, very capable, I think, of killing her with his limit burst. Just off of that, of course, you know, we'd be running a little bit different. Silencing here, 39% chance, and, you know, just taking at some other abilities. Overall, she's still hanging in there pretty well for some of a high damage deal unit. Taking a look again, yeah, just dealing pretty well with it. All right, so that's pretty good. Let's pass on to the next character. Not her quite yet. Sephiroth, hey, why don't you cast your limit burst on here? 95% chance of curse. Pretty damn good. That would stop her from healing and everything, as you can see. You know, I think that's pretty good. All right, let's take out some other abilities. But again, while we are dealing a good amount of damage, we are not necessarily killing her quite yet, which might be a little problematic because a healer surviving can be a little worrisome. Take a few other abilities in here. Seems to be doing pretty good, all in all. Monty already had a turn. So next up, Doom, strong character. I think most will agree. And there you go. We got a water character hitting her for a fatal amount of damage with no buffs. That's good. We'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Doom. And just skipping ahead a bit, let's see what a mage can do. So first off, Helena, who by this point in time is considered to be pretty aged in terms of Wotv. Only about 5,000 points of damage, which is super great. And Gilgamesh, who is probably one of the stronger mages in the game, but you can see all that ice resistance working really well to keep her alive. Not that I think ice-based teams are really going to want to do this, but also 100% chance of frostbite. Okay. All right, so at this point, we've seen essentially all of these units and everything like that. Now let's get casting some buffs. And while I just pull up my notes real quick, I think we're going to start off first with casting one of her big long ones that increases slash, magic, and AoE resistance by 20 for 4 turns, and also casting that status effect resist. So that ability, we got like just a ton of them, but this is the one. Cast that. And look at this. We even have Sephiroth ready to go with his Limit Burst. You know, before we were looking at a 90% chance. Let's take a shot again. Still that 95% chance, but what if we were to look at another unit? Only a 22% chance against Mont, which is really, really, really good. So we are just taking a quick look here. This is the aura style effect. And against a character like Mont here, 50% curse resistance now, which is pretty crazy. Resnick actually might be good at bringing certain other characters back into discussion about whether or not they're actually, you know, super, super good to be run. If we add, you know, just a little bit of extra curse resistance, Sephiroth would be really, really bad. And taking a look against ice-based teams, that frostbite resistance is doing a lot. Maybe our best chance of casting curse, 28% here. And again, with the hate down, almost certainly not going to be targeting Resnick at all. But seeing all those, look at all that status effect resistance. That's crazy. All right. For at least just getting it off of it. All right, so taking a look there. We'll skip ahead a little bit and just go all the way down. I know some of our things will probably be expiring. That's okay. We're not too worried about it for this time. All right, next up, we'll cast her next ability, giving her barrier. So this one is a single target use, and as you can see, if you want to cast it, it does give a little bit of range. This is also the ability that is giving barrier destruction, heal. It's also giving remove follow-up attacks, single target resistance of 30, and reduces physical damage taken by 50% 4 times for stealth. All of those abilities in there. Now let's take a look at that Zoom attack, see how we're doing. And as you can see, quite a bit of reduction there. So even hitting maybe with this big AoE here, if I can target properly, quite a good amount of survivability against her worst element. And again, not maybe the best unit. We'll just pass ahead to Mont. Taking a look at his single target limit burst, you can see all that single target resistance really paying off in combination with the physical resistance to essentially make sure that this character is quite survivable. Also, if you get that barrier steel attack off from any of the other units, the barrier is going to stick, keep her alive, and keep her healing. Okay. All right. So that's basically taking a look at that. Skip ahead a bit. We're going to have these guys get a turn finally by the looks of it. And Resnick's turn. All right. So let's check out a couple of abilities. First off, Limit Burst. Now this is a 310 times heal. I don't think I mentioned it in my previous video. Removes all debuffs, dispels physical damage reduction for allies and magical damage reduction, and increases debuff weakening effect by 20 for 3 turns. Taking a look at its heal, roughly about 1500. It looks like on herself, 12, 12, 96, 12. Pretty good across the board. Generally really strong healing based ability, but that's not her only healing one. So let's take a look at one of her more regularly accessed, the big AoE heal that also reduces magical damage taken by 50% for 2 times to allies. Taking a look at this, it is a big heal, pretty dang strong in terms of how much it's healing. But also really quickly, just take a look at 2 more abilities. First off, Dance of Revival, which of course we don't have a unit dead. I wanted to see if it would give us the re-raise percentage, but probably does need to be cast. And her 1 damage ability, taking a look at just attacking some characters. Yeah, don't think that she's going to be super relevant for attacking most characters, but not necessarily what we have her for. Okay, so going back, let us cast that heal. Or, you know what? Do we want to do the AP thing? Let's check the AP thing, because I said bad things about it in the previous one. Yeah, effectively it's like a 20 AP reduction on a big AoE, which isn't terrible, but also feels kind of underwhelming. Not super crazy about that ability. So let's go up and do that heal and give the magic damage down 2 times for allies. So I choose the right one. Not super familiar with this yet. And now if we just pass ahead to Gilgamesh, taking a look just at Gilgamesh maybe smacking down one of his opponents such as Jum or even Helena, who is an older unit. You can see how much damage reduction they are getting off of that. Quite strong. So yeah, let's wrap up this video real quick. I would say that Resnick looks very capable as a incredibly strong healer and support base. In terms of DPS, yeah, not going to be her job, probably not even remotely a high priority on her AI, but it does, for all intents and purposes, look like she will be just a really good support. Because she has everything that you're essentially looking. She's not going to be targeted. She's casting so many different stuff. But I think that that ailment, status ailment protection is just really good into a bunch of stuff that is currently present and will be probably currently or just present in the future as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Thanks so much for watching, and see you later.